What's going on, guys? County Gains back here again. Today we got another video called Artists Who Destroyed Their Careers in Seconds. So we all know nowadays, guys, with the PC culture and all this crazy culture that we have nowadays, that you can really be cancelled, quote unquote cancelled, or get your whole image taken down just by a few people, you know, a few cynical people or a few people that want to target you. So it's very, it's very crazy waters nowadays. You can get your YouTube pulled for just the slightest of things. If you mess up just a little bit, then you're gone completely, guys. I don't personally agree with it, but hey, that's the way it is nowadays. Hopefully it revolves back to a bit more lightheartedness in the near future. But anyway, guys, today we got a bunch of artists. I know DaBaby got canceled because he said some homophobic slurs. I don't personally think that they were homophobic. Obviously, DaBaby isn't homophobic. He said it publicly before, but this one should be incredible to watch, guys. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Check out my Patreon as well for more content, guys, and let's go.
These artists' careers were never the same after one incident, whether it was from their own terrible decisions or a minor misstep that got blown out of proportion. Today we are going to discuss them all, starting with Macklemore, who leaked a text message that made everyone question what they thought they knew about him. In 2012 and 2013, you could not go anywhere without hearing the song Thrift Shop. Far from your typical rap song, Macklemore flexed $20 and had suburban moms dancing to his funky saxophone. This song spent 6 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Mac had one-hit wonder written all over him. He carried the most stereotypical white rapper image that is perceived as corny by hip-hop culture, but he proved everyone wrong with his second hit, Can't Hold Us, which spent 5 weeks at the #1 spot. This track was definitely more of a standard pop track, but 2 Billboard #1s in his first year as a mainstream artist stamped that he was a force to be reckoned with. However, it was all about to come crashing down, as Macklemore would suffer from success.
Yeah, because I feel like Macklemore, to me, guys, he just fell off for no reason. I feel like I haven't heard from him in like 10 years.
At the 2014 annual Grammy Awards, Macklemore was nominated in 7 categories, the biggest and most prestigious being Best Rap Album and Best Rap Song. After winning Best Rap Performance and Best New Artist, people were happy to see him win 2 Grammys. Nominated for Best Rap Song up against Drake, Kanye West, Jay-Z, it seemed unlikely.
Whoa, there were some heavy hitters, man. Oh, fucking Problems. That was one of my favorite songs of all times, guys. That's epic, man. I love bad bitches, that's my fucking problem. That's one of the best songs ever. I know a couple of beta males that don't like that song, guys, actually from my city, kind of funny. But that song's legendary, guys. Started from the Bottom, great song too. Holy Grail, good song too. New Slaves, haven't even heard of that. But yeah, Thrift Shops, that's one of the best there, guys. Fucking Problems is probably the second, epic song. Or Started from the Bottom. Yeah, great list.
Billy Macklemore would win, but Thrift Shop was in fact the winner of Best Rap Song of 2014, securing him his 3rd Grammy of the night.
Class.
But what would come next would shock the world. Up against Drake's Nothing Was the Same, Jay-Z's Magna Carta, Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City, and Kanye West's Yeezus, Macklemore
great albums apart from Yeezus
had absolutely no chance of winning. Everyone was betting on Kendrick since he without a doubt had the best album of the bunch, but wouldn't be entirely surprised if it went to the other nominees. The hip-hop community was floored when Macklemore and Ryan Lewis's The Heist won Best Rap Album of the Year.
What? They mean in terms of sales. You see, guys, this is the whole thing with music and artists. Maybe in terms of sales they might have beat them, but Mad City, that's probably one of the best albums of all time, guys. I ain't gonna lie. That album, to me, because it gets you pumped up for the gym, that's one of the best songs of all. That's one of the best albums of all time.
Heist couldn't be a more fitting name for this absolute robbery. Macklemore was being cooked by the hip-hop community on.
That's so funny. I was so upset when Kendrick didn't win. Damn, if someone was there, I would have pulled Kanye. I'm gonna let you finish Macklemore, but Kendrick.
Reminding him in every comment section that he didn't deserve to win. He felt so much pressure that he decided to text Kendrick Lamar and apologize. "You got robbed. I wanted you to win. You should have. It's weird and sucks that I robbed you. I was gonna say that during the speech, then the music started playing during my speech and I froze. Anyway, you know what it is. Congrats on this year and your music. Appreciate you as an artist and as a friend. Much love."
What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. That's great.
We wouldn't have ever seen this text if Macklemore didn't post it to social media, which made it even worse and looked like he was just trying to get in the good graces with the public.
Did you ever feel any way about him posting the text message or anything like that?
Yeah, I think it was uncalled for, to be 100 with you. When he sent it to me, I was like, okay, I could see him feeling that type of way because he a good dude. But I think for confirmation from the world, you know, he probably felt like he had to put it out there, which he didn't need to do. But they don't take nothing away from him anyway, because I know where his heart is at, he cool.
Despite Kendrick
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Why would it be a problem from him releasing it to the world? That's a good thing that he put that out there. He wants to show to everybody that he himself knows that Kendrick actually won that. Why would that be a bad thing? I don't really...
being cordial and saying that Macklemore meant well, hip-hop fans could never truly accept Macklemore as a part of the culture. They thought he was disingenuous, and they didn't really like his music in the first place, so this was an easy excuse to forget.
Well, let's be honest, guys. I hate to be that guy, right? But I'm speaking from the white community. I know a lot of people that are white love Macklemore. Guys, Macklemore ain't a rapper, guys. Like, straight up and down the board, man. When has this guy... Now, he has some good rap songs, but he's not a rapper like Eminem. I mean, come on now, guys. We're kind of blowing that out of proportion. Oh, he's not accepted to the rap community, black community, whatever. He's not a rapper, guys. Like, he makes pop songs. I'm not taking that away. He doesn't rap. He does rap, and some of his best songs are rap, but he's not, guys. To me, anyway, he's more of like a pop guy, like almost like a... You know, and that's not trying to be harsh, because I don't really think that's a harsh thing to say, but to be accepted to people like Wu-Tang Clan, Eminem, Jay-Z, they wouldn't really look at him like as like a big rap guy, you know what I mean?
Forget about him. He stepped out of the limelight, and many people suggest his music was never as ambitious ever again. He felt guilt, and that guilt ate him alive. His 2016 album, This Unruly Mess I Made, sold just 61,000 copies in the first week. Him and Ryan Lewis split up shortly after, and Mac released another solo album, Gemini, that did decent amongst his fan base, but ultimately, he hasn't had any major mainstream success in almost a decade.
That's crazy, like that he literally just after one thing. I didn't know that about Macklemore. This video is epic, guys. Give this one a like, man. This is epic. I didn't know this stuff.
But unlike Macklemore, DaBaby refused to apologize.
This is a train wreck. I love DaBaby. Let it be known, though, I think DaBaby is one of the best rappers ever. He has one of the best voices of all time. I love DaBaby is top. One of my favorite rappers ever. But yeah, he just ruined his whole career. But let's see. I can't remember exactly what he said again. So let's get into it.
To anyone, which is leading to one of the dumbest downfalls of all time. Baby exploded onto the mainstream rap scene in 2019 with his hit song Suge, which peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100. In a world of repetitive melodic trap, DaBaby felt fresh and exciting, providing us with bouncy and fun bangers. He dominated for the next 2 years, constantly having multiple singles on the Billboard Hot 100, and he was in regular rotation on the radio. His track Rockstar with Roddy Ricch was the number 1 song for 7 weeks straight, a very tough thing to do as a hip-hop artist. But DaBaby was always known for having a bold personality. He was the type to say whatever he wanted, and if you had a problem, he was more than willing to handle it. He even killed a guy in Walmart. Don't worry, it was self-defense.
He's killed a few people in Walmart, guys. Don't go to Walmart in America, obviously.
Well, in July of 2021, on the stage at Rolling Loud, his loose lips got him in major trouble. Maybe some that he can't recover from.
That's why the LLG, Loose Lips Gang.
You didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, any of them deadly sexually transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2-3 weeks. Put a cell phone light in the air. Lady, if your pussy smell like water, put a cell phone light in the air. Fellas.
Lights up.
Fellas, if you ain't sucking nigga in the parking lot, put your cell phone lights in the air.
Completely unprovoked and for no reason at all, DaBaby was thinking about gay men and what they do in their free time while he was on stage performing. He referred to people...
Yeah, that is a bit odd. That part is really odd. Him saying what he said, I don't particularly think that was an anti-homophobic thing. That because he said it in a I was watching his Instagram at the time, guys. I'm very up to date on the culture, obviously. But I was watching on Instagram, and what he apologized and all that stuff. And he basically said that he's obviously not homophobic, obviously not, right? But it was just really odd that he would just randomly say that, guys. So maybe like subconsciously something, but I don't know, guys. It was kind of weird. That was just a weird one, but.
People with AIDS as dirty and will likely die soon from the illness. Both statements are categorically and factually untrue. The clip was shared onto the internet and sent millions of people into an uproar. DaBaby addressed this on his Instagram and clarified his message.
Yeah.
I wasn't going on no rant. That's called a call to action. That's what that's called, because I'm a live performer. I'm the best live performer. I'm the live show killer. You interact with your fans. You get what I'm saying? Look, all the lights went up gay. Straight, you wanna know why? Cause even my gay fans don't got fucking AIDS, stupid ass niggas.
Him doubling down on his comments made everything way worse.
Well, not necessarily. Like, I'm taking him as face value. Like, if he's gonna say face to face to the audience, guys, you gotta take a guy at face value. Like, I would say, okay, like, obviously, comments kind of uncalled for. But in terms of what he meant by it, guys, you know, we have to understand that he just said right there, he's not trying to say, he's just basically, it's kind of hard to understand. Like, he was trying to say that, like, he wants people that are not, like, nasty hoes. Like, you know, when you see a hoe, she, like, slept with, like, the whole village or whatever. He's saying, I don't want people like that as my fans. You know, it's just really random. But that's what he meant, you know what I'm saying? It is just a random thing to say, but yeah.
He clearly was very uneducated on the AIDS disease and the unfair stigmas that come with it. And although he eventually issued an apology addressing the LGBTQ community, he had made countless contradictory statements after. He tried to profit off the controversy in music videos and even kind of redacted his own apology.
If I say what I say to get people to raise their cell phones and it's misinterpreted by people who watch a 5-second clip at home, you're not supposed to understand what's going on. You couldn't raise your cell phone if you wanted to, so you ain't supposed to be able to digest a clip, you know what I'm saying? A clip that has been altered and shortened with a narrative to go along with it, with enough people driving it, it's gonna do what it do.
From here, he got kicked off every major festival in 2021 that he was supposed to perform at. And even when he did perform, he was booed and had garbage thrown at him. A-list celebrities and fellow collaborators condemned him. But the controversy continued. He got into fights, tormented and broke down the mother of his child on Instagram, tried to kiss one of his fans without consent. DaBaby was not trying to save face. He just kept saying, "I'm sorry for being me." His ticket sales plummeted, which resorted to him offering buy one get one free deals to fill out the venues. One report alleged that he only sold 500 tickets to a venue that holds 14,000 people, and he claims to have lost $30 million because of the controversy.
I'll tell you exactly why he lost a lot of fans, guys, because I would say I'm a rap expert on the people that I know about. The reason he lost is because rap music is very changeable. It's a very volatile industry, right? 1 week you can have a banger, and then next week, or let's say a couple months, guys, you can be just a complete nobody. You know, it's very hard to say relevant rap music. That's why rap music, you get a lot of money really, really fast. You become the most famous person ever. It's called 15 minutes of fame. Your 15 minutes is supposed to be up. Same with like the movie industry. The movie industry, you could be like the biggest artist for the year, and then nobody will even know about you for the next 10 or 20 years. He kept the same sound, the same flow, and he didn't change up with the times. Why Eminem has stayed so relevant is because he's consistently changed, you know, his style with the times. Obviously, he messed up with Revival and stuff like that. And, you know, different rappers, guys. Like Jay-Z as well. He kind of stays a little bit relevant. Nas as well. They kind of change with the times, right? They kind of go... J. Cole, I would say as well. Drake has been around for ages, so like he kind of changes with the times. You know, he doesn't just stay with the same flow and style all the time, right?
Like
what were the L's?
A week or two after, $30 million that I would have had before the ball dropped 2021. So this happened rolling out with what, July? I had $30 million worth of shows on the schedule before December 31st.
All he had to say was, put your hands in the air if you just don't care, and all of this could have been avoided.
Yeah,
but if you think what DaBaby said was bad, you'll be horrified by what CeeLo Green said in a series of questionable tweets. If you don't remember the name CeeLo Green or his previous duo Gnarls Barkley, you definitely remember his two most iconic songs, Crazy and Forget You. Crazy peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and spent 29 weeks on the chart. Forget You, which he released solo 4 years later, also went number 2 on the Hot 100 after spending almost a full year on the charts.
What? Dude, that's a long time. Holy hell, that's crazy.
CeeLo had a very unique voice and was undeniably talented. He pretty much only gave us 2 hits, but was an ever-present pop culture figure throughout the early 2010s. Whether he was hosting an award show, his own reality show, voice acting, or being a judge on The Voice, CeeLo was loved and appreciated, until some shocking allegations arose. CeeLo was accused by a 33-year-old woman he dined with at a downtown Los Angeles sushi restaurant of placing ecstasy, also known as MDMA or Molly, in her drink. The woman later told Los Angeles police detectives she woke up naked in bed in her hotel room with Green. CeeLo allegedly admitted to law enforcement that he took ecstasy, but denied drugging the woman's drink or committing sexual assault. CeeLo's sexual assault charges were dropped after prosecutors concluded there wasn't enough evidence to take that accusation to court, but he was found guilty on drug charges, which landed him 3 years probation. But it wasn't the nature of the charges that ruined his career, it's what he said on Twitter after the case. After being criticized by people in public tweets, he decided to respond. Women who have really been R-worded, remember, but point taken.
You have a great website. Let's make sure people...
Yeah, but not if they're drugged, like.
So if I tried but did not succeed, but the person said I did, then what really happened? When someone breaks in a home, there is broken glass. Where is your plausible proof anyone was R-worded? If someone passed out, they're not even with you consciously, so with implies consent. It's hard to see what point he was trying to make here, but the blogs were not holding back. CeeLo, it's not rape if you forget. CeeLo Green, it isn't rape if the victim is unconscious. After these tweets, his reputation was destroyed. He lost all of his live performance bookings, he quit The Voice to avoid being fired, his TV show was canceled, and he basically disappeared from the pop culture zeitgeist, pretty much surviving off royalties and small film roles here and there. But I guess him and I are friends now?
Yo, Pat, what's up, man? I'm assuming that your friends call you Pat.
My friends do call me Pat, so...
And I consider myself to be one of your friends. I consider myself to be one of your friends.
The next person on our list...
I forgot to say as well, guys, shout out to Patrick CC. I've never watched his YouTube channel before. Cool guy, obviously. Please don't demonetize this video. I love you, bro. Let's get it.
List lost her career from something that was totally out of her control. In fact, it may have even been a setup.
What?
Janet Jackson is a woman who needs no introduction. She is the youngest of the 9 iconic Jackson family siblings. Although she was not a part of the original Jackson 5, she would go on to have a massive solo music career. Jackson signed the first of 2 record-breaking multi-million-dollar contracts with Virgin Records, establishing her as one of the highest-paid artists in the industry. She was named by Billboard magazine in the 90s as the second most successful recording artist of the decade in the United States after Mariah Carey. Over
I'm not gonna lie, guys, I didn't know who Janet Jackson was.
100 million records sold, 10 Billboard #1 songs, 27 top 10 hits. She is easily the most successful artist on this list, which is why her downfall is even more tragic. The Super Bowl in America is always the most watched televised program every year, with an average of around 100 million people watching the game. The halftime show has historically been a major milestone in an artist's career, as it is the biggest stage they will likely ever be on. In 2004, Janet Jackson was asked to do the show, but not by herself, which was surprising since she easily had enough hits to do a full set. Instead, she only got to perform 2 of her songs. The other time was filled out by Justin Timberlake, Diddy, Nelly, Kid Rock, and Jessica Simpson.
Cool.
The very last song of the performance was Justin's hit song, Rock Your Body, in which Janet assisted him. The two met at the center of the stage to pose for the grand finale. Justin reaches across Janet's body and pulls off the chest piece of her costume, exposing her breast to 90 million people.
Whoa.
The wardrobe malfunction is considered the biggest controversy in televised history. This incident was actually the inspiration for YouTube because of the difficulty finding footage to rewatch online. Now, to some degree, this was planned.
That's crazy. So they invented YouTube in 2005, 2006, something like that. I don't really remember. I remember watching it when I was like 10, 12. But it's like watching home videos. So the inspiration was for this. That's crazy.
And Justin's intention was to pull the leather piece off her chest and expose the red underneath, but he ripped too much. In the split second the camera was on Janet, you can see her look down in shock. She tried to cover herself while Timberlake stood holding the ripped pieces of her costume and bra. The FCC received more than 500,000 complaints after the performance. CBS was fined $550,000, and the halftime sponsor AOL demanded a return of the $10 million advertising cost they paid to the NFL.
I actually remember this now that I think about it. 2005. I was 10 years old. I don't remember that, but I remember hearing about something like that. That's funny.
Apologized, MTV apologized, Janet apologized, even though she later regretted it because it was an accident. The media went into an all-out frenzy. The FCC investigated the halftime show to see if this was a planned media stunt meant to shock the world, citing that because she was wearing a nipple covering, that was evidence this was all set up. Class action lawsuits were filed against Janet by random citizens, claiming that her sexually explicit performance deserved maximum punitive damages. Every talk show host in the nation dragged her. Viacom had to pay out $3.5 million to settle various indecency complaints, so they went and banned all radio and TV stations that they owned from playing any of Janet Jackson's music. Janet was blackballed from the music industry over an accident, and Justin was not punished at all, even though it was definitely his fault. There is no doubt her punishment was unfair and likely due to her gender and race. Her career after that wasn't totally dismantled. She did have a #1 album, a Grammy nomination, some light Billboard presence, but this incident lingered like a dark cloud over her head for many years, and slowly she faded out of the mainstream.
I am am one of those women who have been gagged, both literally and emotionally, women who have been abused, women who have been intimidated, women who have lived in fear. I stand with you. You are my sisters.
However, today, most people can all agree that this was just an overreaction, and she is still highly regarded as one of the most iconic pop stars of all time. Overreacting to small mistakes seemed to be common in the early 2000s, because this next artist's career was destroyed by something so small, it's almost unbelievable. Ashlee Simpson was the younger sister of the already famous pop star Jessica Simpson, who was a
Jessica Simpson was a ride back in the day, boys.
multi-platinum Billboard charting recording artist. She also had her own MTV show. Newlyweds, Nick and Jessica was one of the most popular programs on the network. MTV wanted to capitalize on the Simpson sisters' newfound fame and gave Ashlee her own series called The Ashlee Simpson Show. The series ran for 2 seasons and aired every week on MTV directly after Jessica's show. Viewers who were invested in Jess were introduced to Ashlee immediately after. Ashlee was desperate to not live in the shadows of her sister. She dyed her naturally blonde hair brown and built a pop-punk image to complement her pop-rock music. Her album's lead single, Pieces of Me, became an instant hit in the United States.
I don't remember any of these people, guys. I'm too young for all this.
The song peaked at number 5 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and sold over 500,000 copies nationwide. Ashlee's debut album was released soon after, with an estimated 398,000 copies sold in its first week. Worldwide, the album sold more than 5 million copies. She had a bigger debut than her sister, but her career ended just before it took off. Saturday Night Live, 2004. Ashlee Simpson was set to perform her single Pieces of Me when this happened.
What happened? Damn it, these freaking ads on YouTube, man, pissing me off. Let's get it.
On a Monday, I am waiting. Tuesday, I'm fading.
You might be kind of confused as to what happened. Basically, the backing vocals started playing before Ashlee expected them, as it was her intention to lip sync her performance, but instead of trying to catch up to the song, she stood there in a panic, then hit this extremely awkward jig dance twice, before ultimately exiting the stage without saying anything. The show cut to commercial, and when it came back, she blamed her band.
Ladies and gentlemen, what can I say? Live TV.
Exactly. I feel so bad. My band started playing the wrong song, and I didn't know what to do, so I thought I'd do a hoedown. I'm sorry.
If she just told the truth right away, she may have been able to avoid the backlash, but instead, Ashlee became a laughingstock.
Oh, she blamed her band. Why would she blame her band? That's so weird.
On a Monday, you saw me. On Tuesday, you called me. On Wednesday.
I mean, guys, you shouldn't be lip syncing live music anyway. That's the telltale sign of a terrible musician.
Even news anchors poked fun at her.
Sister's performance on Saturday Night Live was, well, out of sync, you could say.
That's weird.
All right, sorry, we had to do that. It was just our own little lip-syncing adventure.
We were mocking her.
At just 19, she was publicly ridiculed by the world. And this is all especially ridiculous considering today's standards are much lower. It almost feels like lip syncing isn't even a real thing anymore. Half of my favorite artists at their live shows just let the song play, jump around, and yell random ad-libs. Even though Ashlee was a decent performer, and she did have an opportunity to redeem herself on various late-night shows, nobody cared. Nobody wanted to give her a second chance. It was too much fun to make jokes and boo her off stage. She did have a moderate comeback with her single Boyfriend in 2005, and her second album eventually selling 3 million copies worldwide, but she had already seen the peak of her music career, and as it slowly dwindled away, she maintained her relevance in the 2010s through relationships, various television projects, and her own social media. But the last person on our list has the most unexpected, shocking, and horrifying incidents that landed them in prison. In
I've heard of Silento, but I don't know maybe from what song. I think maybe one song I've heard of him. I don't know. Let's get it, guys.
2015, the world was dancing to Silent-O's hit song "Watch Me." The song paired with
Watch
the
me,
massive
nay, nay.
viral
That's that "Watch Me, nay, nay, watch me whip, watch me, nay, nay." I can't even do it, guys, but you guys know it. You know, you guys know that song.
dance, the whip, and the nay-nay. All of social media was flooded with videos of people doing the dance, with Vine and Instagram peaking in popularity.
Vine, that's a throwback. That's how Logan Paul and Jake Paul got famous, right? I've never watched like any of their. I've never watched even one Jake Paul video, guys, ever, or Logan Paul. And they're like the most famous YouTubers. It's hilarious.
Silent-O laid the foundation for what would become extremely normal on TikTok many years later. He performed at award shows, on Nickelodeon, every talk show in America. The virality got the single to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, as well as 1.8 billion views on YouTube. Today, the record is 6 times platinum. Unfortunately, hip-hop dance tracks have a history of being impossible to outdo, because for every one that becomes culturally iconic, there are hundreds of cheesy failed attempts to recreate the moment. Silent-O waited 3 years to drop his album fresh out of high school, which failed to generate any buzz, and his second album went almost totally unnoticed. But before you could fully count him out, he made a decision that officially ended his career.
He killed the dude. What did he do?
On January 21st, 2021, the 23-year-old rapper was arrested for the murder of his cousin, 34-year-old Frederick Rooks, after a shooting in DeKalb County, Georgia. Police said officers found Rooks suffering from multiple gunshot wounds at a home off of Deep Shoals Circle. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators did not have a suspect at the time. Responding officers were able to obtain video from the security cameras of multiple residents and later identified Hawk, or Silent-O, as the gunman. Silent-O was arrested February 1st, 2021, and then later indicted by a Georgia grand jury on 4 felonies: 1 count of malice murder, 1 count of felony murder, aggravated assault, and gun possession during the commission of a felony.
You're washed up, guys. That's 4 felonies. You get 3 felonies in America, your life is over, bro. You're washed up. You're getting that life in prison. You're getting that book thrown at you, guys. Shit.
As of now, the court has deemed Silent-O unfit for the safety of the public and will remain incarcerated until further trial. Since the trial has not started yet, we don't know how he did it, we don't know why he did it, and we don't know how long he might be in jail. But we do know is that his career is officially over.
Damn, that's brutal ending right here. Patrick CC. Great video, my bro. Discovery, documentaries, and deep dives. Yeah, so absolutely hilarious, guys. Absolutely crazy. Some of those guys. I didn't know about CeeLo Green. I didn't know about Macklemore. I didn't know about any of those people, But yeah, absolutely fire, man. So yeah, hopefully I'm going to react to a few more videos of his. 102 million views in 6 days ago. That's really good, man. Keep doing your thing, bruh. Patrick CC, do whatever you want in life. I hope you guys enjoy that, man. Leave in the comments down below. Did you guys know about those murders and stuff and all those different things, news? I feel like a lot of that stuff was kind of thrown under the rug with, Macklemore and a few of those other people. So, yeah, absolutely fire, man. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.